Hi, I'm Wendy, and today I'm going to talk about the importance of setting very clear expectations and boundaries in professional situations. All of this to help avoid any misunderstandings, frustrations, and upsets between people. Have you ever found yourself in a sticky situation where things have got quite messed up and quite tangled? I think we've all been there and done that. Communication is key, right? So I'm going to give you a few tips if you're operating from a professional situation, business situation, on how to avoid some of these types of misunderstandings due to unexplained or not thought out clearly expectations and boundaries. The first tip I give you is to create a written agreement. If it's in writing and it's been signed by all parties, then that will eliminate a lot of the issues that could exist if you have nothing in writing and it's all verbal. So when discussing important matters or trying to reach a consensus, create a written agreement or a summary of the key points. Clearly outline each party's responsibilities and roles, expectations, boundaries if needed, and agreed upon timelines and deadlines. Ensure that all parties involved in the review agree to this and are signing off on it. The second tip is to use email confirmations. So you might have had some verbal discussions. You might not have reached that point of putting together a written agreement yet. However, why not put some email together, some information, some agreements in place following that verbal discussion that you've had, perhaps to reiterate the key points, the key messages that were discussed and agreed upon. Use bullet points, numbered lists to highlight any specific expectations and boundaries. Request acknowledgement or confirmation from the other party to ensure that everything is aligned. The third tip is to utilize project management tools. So for collaborative projects or tasks, leverage project management tools that allow for very clear documentation of expectations. Outline tasks, deadlines, and responsibilities within that tool. And that provides a very centralized and accessible and very clear reference point for all the team members or all the parties concerned. Regularly update and review to ensure that you're addressing any changes that might arise. And the fourth tip is to establish a communication protocol. Define a communication protocol that includes guidelines on how information and expectations will be conveyed, will be communicated and adhered to and respected. Specify the preferred communication channel for different types of discussions, whether it is verbal discussions, face-to-face, emails, texting, videos, written documents, whatever you prefer, but make sure that it is specified. Clearly state how the updates or progress reports, if that's what you're going to do, should be shared in order to maintain transparency. I hope that, by implementing those tips, you will create a much more structured and transparent framework for the communication between the parties, hopefully reducing the likelihood of misunderstandings or further misunderstandings. It's very important to document your expectations, your boundaries, your responsibilities, and how you're going to go about doing things. Everybody in the collaboration or partnership or venture or in that party, in that team, needs to hear that. So if anything does arise, they can address it proactively. Regularly revisit if you need to modify, and no doubt you probably will, update those documented agreements to ensure that they remain relevant and reflect the evolving nature of the situation or the project.